evening, Australia. I'm Michael Kuzilny. Tough times never last. Thank you very much for watching all these years. Thank you very much for coming up in the street and sharing your problems and telling me about some of the interviews that inspired your life or even saved your life. I always think life's tough for everybody. We just have to get on top of crisis. And we've got to remember it's a mixture, isn't it, of 10,000 joys and 10,000 sorrows. I'm at an age now where I don't like bullshit stories and love authentic people. And when I open the door to my next guest, Aaron Roach, I could feel the authenticity. There was no masks, and I gave him a big hug, because I love authentic people. And thanks for coming on.
Oh, thanks.
So
nice.
I
really appreciate it.
And it's difficult. It's difficult because there are so many judgmental people. And Aaron told me, tried to take his life twice, lost a child, and always was concerned about the opinions of other people. And somewhere along the line, a psychiatrist said he had borderline personality disorder. But they're just titles, aren't they? The man I see is one of the most beautiful people. And at the end of the day, we're all a little bit fucked up. I know I am.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh,
but
completely.
we're all a little bit broken.
Yep.
I worked with this psychologist for many years who came along and did my county court cases, Ronald Conway, a beautiful man. And Ronald was 83 and he was just about to die. And we finished the county court a few years ago and he said, "Michael, this will be the last case." I said, "Thank you, Ronald, for all your service." I said, "Can you tell me about humanity?" He goes, "We're all a little bit fucked up, which we are. And the people pretending that we're not, But tell me about the life journey. You got 3 little beautiful children in your heart.
Yes. We've got 2 beautiful girls, Vivian, who's 9, and Clementine, who's just turned 1, which is, and she's been a breath of fresh air.
And one passed away.
Yeah, so in 2018, our son was born preterm at 18 weeks. And so, he was born at home and unfortunately he passed away not long after being born.
Yes.
And so, it was very challenging. The trauma of seeing that, and being a part of that is still something that I process every day.
And just talking about it, it brings emotions. And with the latest arrival, it must sort of dissipate that pain.
Yeah, absolutely. Clementine, it's like she knows that she's here because her brother's not. And so she is this beautiful breath of fresh air, and she is just so engaging and so loving and comes in and gives cuddles.
And there's somebody else encouraging and loving, and that's your beautiful wife. Mornay? Marnay?
Yeah.
Sounds like from New Zealand, but she's local.
Exactly, yeah.
She must be a very loving and supporting wife because when we suffer from mental health issues, you need somebody supportive.
Yeah. Marnay has been my biggest supporter since the day we met. She was like the first person that really believed in me, in that, I had so much potential at being something, doing something with my life rather than the track that I was on. And so,
Can you tell me about the track you're on and the success you've achieved?
Yeah. So, I was comfortable. I was, content what I was doing, but I wasn't really kind of reaching. And Marnay was this complete opposite person to who I am. And it's the kind of person that I needed to stimulate that.
How did you meet? How long ago?
We met at a house party about 14 years ago. I used to DJ and I was DJing, and she tapped me on the shoulder and she goes, "Do you know what you're doing?" I was just like, what? I just felt insulted, but at the same time, it was just like this.
She still had the records or the DVDs?
No, it was the records. Yeah, still the records back then.
So this is amazing, Aaron, because Aaron says he sat there at work crying often, always worried about the perceptions of other people. This should really be a subject at school, to be independent of the useless opinions of other people. But we're blaming all these people, but in reality, they're not even thinking about us. They're thinking about themselves.
Correct.
So where does this? I wonder where this fear comes from, and a lot of people go through it. What, like they're worried about what we're wearing, like I could personally go out naked into the street and whatnot. I wouldn't give one single crap if people even cared.
I'll hold you to that.
But I am completely independent towards, there's no fear. I say to myself these days, I respect few, and I fear none. But I say respect few because so many people are lazy, like so many people backstab, and so many people wear the masks. And that's why I say I respect few, because I love authenticity and people who just say it the way it is,
Yeah. Well, for me, it got to the point where I couldn't I did have the mask. I had a very good game face because I grew up having to put that game face on.
What mum and dad judgmental? Did they always want you to be a perfect at everything?
It's not that maybe not that. More, it was just somewhat tough. And so it was more, going into self-preservation mode and protecting myself and, putting on a face that made everybody else happy rather than kind of.
And who said you've got borderline personality disorder, which is, a term going around society? And who said that, and why did they say it?
Oh, so I got diagnosed by a psychiatrist. I think, it's a very tough disorder to diagnose, but there are particular markers that you have to meet, and they include things like the types of coping mechanisms that I have, the interpersonal relationships that I have, how effective I am at those, distress tolerance, emotional dysregulation.
But you're one of the kindest people I've ever met.
Yeah, thank you.
So I think it might be a good condition. I might get one. Yeah. Where do we get it from?
Yeah.
Borderline. I want one. You're a very kind man.
Thank you so much.
How did you try to take your life?
So the first time I tried with a lot of sleeping tablets. That
was 2014, I think you said, yeah?
Sorry, 2015?
2015.
In 2018, I tried again, but this one was a higher volume of meds.
We might have a short break, and I want to find out who saved you, or what changed after that. But thank you so much for joining us. You're a terrific fella, and viewers, thank you very much for joining us. You're a terrific audience. We'll be back very shortly. Roach is a terrific fella, down to earth, authentic, and still here with us. Tried to take his life twice, February 2020, October 2020, and this is what COVID has done to us, folks. We're running around saying, oh, everything's great, but it's not. People are still getting on track, and I'm telling magistrates this at the courts. They want to fine people big money, and I say, look, let's not forget what happened in 2020. People almost went broke, and anyone with mental health issues, isolation is really the enemy of mental health. So during COVID, Erin, why did you get so down? Was it because of isolation or the business, the money factor?
The money factor. So we run our own little consulting business. We do digital marketing.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and it's.
And you do a great job. I've heard from people you do an amazing job. Very creative and very friendly service.
Yeah. So that's kind of my background, I guess. But at the start, when COVID started affecting businesses that I work with, the first thing that goes is the supplier chain.
Of course.
And so there was one client that went, and then all of a sudden another one went, and then another one went, and then we're down to 50% of our income.
How long have you been self-employed for?
For 5 years.
5, and before that you were
corporate.
Yeah, right. So amazing. So difficult times. You've got this young family, and you feel like you're the provider of the family, and you feel lost.
Yeah. Well, when it happened, I failed. I failed my family, I failed the business, I failed myself.
Why?
Because I couldn't provide. We didn't have security in place. It just didn't work. And so,
Did you fail, or did the?
well, I didn't fail. That's the thing.
No.
Looking back, I didn't fail.
But how did it affect you? Did you come to a point where you were so far behind on bills that there was an eviction almost, or?
No. It was more the catastrophizing. So, okay, we've lost our revenue. This is it.
God bless you.
We're all done.
But financially, what was the impact?
Yeah, so the immediate impact was quite severe.
Yes.
We were struggling to make ends meet for a couple of months until we received government benefits to help to stimulate.
It was
our
still
business.
nice being all at home together, wasn't it? Wasn't
Yeah.
it nice, folks? I reckon there was some. There's always some great things during the difficult times. It was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was some nice things about the lockdown.
Yeah. So hopefully not digressing too much, but with Vivian, I was still corporate, and so I was out of the house 12 hours a day, and so I didn't get to see her for the first couple of years. Whereas with Clementine, I've been able to be there.
That's beautiful.
24 hours a day.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So you the mind must have been working overtime during COVID, and there's an attempt on your life February and then October to a much larger scale. What happens in October?
Yeah, so
take me back to that mindset. I really want to see what happened then and how you're thinking now.
Yeah, so when there's this kind of mindset that develops that that you're capable of completing it. You've become, you've got the will
Yes.
to commit suicide, and that's what it was for me. It's like, okay, I know I can do this, but I know that I have to increase the things that I'm taking to make that happen.
Yes.
And as so I planned it all, and I wrote my wife the note, and the only thing
You wrote a note? Was it a? Yeah.
The big request that I had, one of the only requests that
Yeah.
I had was to have some of my ashes with my son's ashes.
God bless you.
That was.
And you carry his ashes?
Yeah. So after his funeral, there are options that you can have with cremation and where the ashes sit, and so there was the typical kind of urn, or there's something called an Eddie bear, and
Yes.
so what happens is that they put Easton's ashes in a heart-shaped tin, and then the heart-shaped tin sits in this teddy bear. It's about that big, with these inscriptions on his feet. And
Oh, yes, and you carry that around.
Comes
because
everywhere with us.
Katie was saying, there's this lovely guy at football, Aaron,
Yeah.
and she said, what's the teddy bear for? And that's how she got the story, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting she calls me Aaron. I think I've only ever heard her call me Roach, and I've
Oh,
only ever called her Rolls.
Roach,
so-
Rolls, yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
that's right.
And what's
That's
she
right.
like at the footy club? She helps a lot of people. She gives advice, does she?
She's great. There are, like everyone, there are times when things are really tough. But
Yeah.
I think one of Katie's strengths is the ability to identify when someone is going through something and
Yeah.
put an arm around that person and just let them know that they're
That's
loved.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she went through her own difficult times, and I think difficult times are really a blessing because we can then relate.
Yeah.
When we go through difficult times, that we can then relate when other people are going through. It's not just out of a textbook, So, I think it's a very soft society, a lot of soft minds. People were different, and after the Second World War, people were tougher mentally, but we're a pretty soft society out there.
Yeah.
Aaron, this is amazing. So 2020, you end up at where did you end up? Ambulance came.
Yeah. So in that, there's this short moment where you go, this is not it. This is not the right choice.
Did you really want to do it?
Yes. I couldn't see myself going on.
Was the
anymore.
mind so far gone that you didn't think about the beautiful children? Was it so, I suppose, we might talk about that because I just want to get some comprehension of what our thoughts were reflecting back. But don't go away. This is an amazing activity. got the great man Roach on the couch. Geez, he's got some great stories to share, and he's happy, he's positive, and he looks back and thinks, "Yep, went through that. That's made me stronger. That's made me stronger." You are so strong, but yeah, that's right. So nobody was ever thinking anything bad about you, but the perception. Sometimes we get the wrong perception. We all do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of the things for me is I don't have a very good understanding of validation. And so, there's this constant need for it, even though I shouldn't be looking, the gold star should come from me. The gold stars don't come from other people, kind of thing, and that's what that's what I work towards now.
Well, let me say this, Rochi. You're a beautiful human being just the way you are. You're wonderful. Thank you for coming on.
No, I appreciate it.
You're a beautiful new friend. You're authentic, and congratulations on your success and your beautiful wife. And
Thank you.
Even though there's been turbulence there somewhere, and your beautiful children.
Yeah.
God bless your little son who passed on. He's in a beautiful heavenly home, and we'll all be with him soon. But enjoy the rest of the holiday on planet Earth.
Exactly.
And congratulate yourself. And I think those things, if you wake up in the morning and show gratitude for those things, I really think that when we're in a state of gratitude, viewers, that's exactly what comes back. If we wake up thinking about all the problems, all the bad stuff, guess what? You'll attract that sort of stuff. But when we say, hey, I'm alive, and I've got this lovely partner called Nicola, and I've got little Harriet Rose, and I've got Mitchell and Lana, and I've got a great job. I can help people. And I go, wow, I'm so excited, So we wake up in the morning systematically cutting out all the negative junk.
Yeah.
We leave that away. And we're grateful for the things, and that's what you should do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Like,
even to the point of your clothing, and where you're living, and And the football. Tell me about the football.
I've always loved playing football.
Yeah.
I didn't play for a very long time, and then.
But this is a special club. All these classics are playing football. Where is it? This football?
It's in Port Melbourne. It's called the Melbourne Masters Football Club.
And there's so many interesting people there.
Yeah. And there's so many different stories, and there are similar stories.
I want to interview
mine.
every one of them.
Oh, please, come down to the club. And I'm sure they'll all love to jump on.
Yeah, but the only problem is if I kick the ball, it'll probably go to the side.
It doesn't. We all shank it. Don't worry.
But you were saying that every now and then we get into a flow state where the world just tends to stand still, and we don't even see people around us. And I get that flow state when I'm doing TV work on live national TV. I get that flow state when I'm in court. I can't even see the prosecutor or the audience behind me, but and it's a state when you really sort of you're performing well, and time stands still, and if we can put ourselves into the flow state on lots and lots of occasions during the day, life tends to flow a lot better.
Yeah.
And that's your thing, the football.
Yeah, like it is. It really, like with a 12-month-old, that's complete present awareness. I don't have time to think about anything else because I've got to make sure she doesn't trip over something, or Whereas with footy, it's just that see ball, get ball. If I've got all these thoughts in my head, then I'm not going to do what I need to do, and so I can just completely switch off and be in that moment for 2 hours. Like it's the best.
That is so beautiful, and you must enjoy going home, and there's nothing you can't take it for granted, spending time with your beautiful children and your wife.
And I've been very fortunate to have my wife's parents, my in-laws. They've been incredibly supportive, as well as my wife's sister as well. Like they've been this kind of unit that has all backed me, even when I couldn't back myself.
Amazing.
And so it's been great to have, this support that I never really had growing up.
2021, we're sort of getting towards the end of it now, but you're in a different place to what you were back in October, yeah?
Oh, completely. So I wish, I think it's something that I mentioned in my notes, but I wish that 2020 Aaron could see 2021 Aaron, because, there was a time when I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror anymore, because I was so sad at what what my state was. And, you know, I turn it around. You know, as tough as it is, and there are so many like this, it's still tough. I still have to battle these things.
Still tough for all of us.
Yeah. But that's what I do. Like I do all my things. I do my day group. I do my therapy. I do my psychiatric appointments. I do my GP appointments, you know, regularly, because I don't have a choice. If I don't do those things, my family doesn't benefit. You know, they don't get a good.
I think insanity is when people expect to have a problem-free life, you know, and when everything's perfect, it doesn't happen. You know, we're either stuck in a crisis, we've either come out of one, or we're just about to go into one. Life is crisis. Life is tough times. That's what I'm doing this show. And people who don't realise that, you know, they get all bent out of shape, start taking antidepressants, because that's what life is, especially in Western society, with the crazy, fast-paced and selfish world we've created, you know. Yeah. It's certainly not the pace it was in 1960 when we talked to our parents, when things, you know.
Yeah.
Now humans are spending 17 years in their lifetime on their social media, always checking their phones to make sure, you know, that something urgent's happened. You know, 17 bloody years on these phones we're addicted to. It's disgraceful, isn't it? You know, and then another 17 years of sleeping. So life's short, isn't it? Aaron, Roach.
Roach.
You're a terrific fella. I love you like a brother. Thank you very much for sharing.
No,
I love real people, and I look forward to catching up next time.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks.
Michael, Mick. I don't know, like, which one can I call
Whatever.
you? MK. I like MK.
MK is good. Have a really nice weekend. And,
Thank you. And you
say
too.
hello to Katie, say hello to the kids, and enjoy yourself.
Thank you so much.
And viewers, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy yourself, whatever you're going through. Tough times never last. Tomorrow will be another day. Good night.